Yes, my people, welcome to the channel, welcome to the Institute, welcome to the second part of the three-part series of all the trades I took last week on US 30. Yesterday we went through this area here on how we capitalize on this move, and today I'm going to break down what I did the following day in order to get another 1 to 10. So let's jump straight into the analysis. I'm not going to do a full breakdown as I did yesterday. I'm just going to quickly rush through it. But if you want to see exactly how we found our zones and stuff, check out the video I posted yesterday. So daily demand, we found the most probable zone within the demand, which was on the 15-minute, this demand down here. And yeah, what we can clearly see when we look at price is bearish until it's going to eventually hit this demand and then make new all-time highs potentially. But what we're looking for short-term sells until this demand. So yesterday, what we discussed these early sellers getting taken out. And what I do is I don't look at the markets until around 2:30 p.m. UK time. So if we just look at 2:30, we would have came onto the markets and I would have seen, okay, cool. So yesterday's position would have been taken out. Luckily, we got out and we didn't hold until the demand. And we need to be very realistic when we look at price. So when we look at price, we can see it's been quite on a bullish push for quite a while, for the whole day, in fact. And when price has been bullish for a long time, it does need to slow down. We need to look at areas where it could potentially slow down. So we got this area of supply up here, which has an imbalance, which is a very probable zone because it took the Asian sellers of the previous day. So it's a nice little supply we've got going. But we're not going to jump straight and just set a limit here, but always obviously going to wait for confirmation. But what I like to do, so at 2:30 I would have jumped onto the markets. I would have just seen how did price react when it took this liquidity, because sometimes it would give you a direct sell. But what we can see is we can see a channel forming where price is staying within a region and it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. And this gives us confidence that the supply will hold because these people need to be taken out. There's too many sellers getting involved for price to just drastically drop. So we would have sat on our hands and just waited for price to take out these early sellers. Bang. So it takes out the early sellers. So price has taken a lot of liquidity in the space of 1 day, which is beautiful because that means, we got further confidence that price is going to continue to the downside. We wait for a change of character, which happens almost instantly after tapping the supply, which is fantastic. We're going to mark that out as a change of character. And now we're just going to look for zones where we could potentially sell from. So if we go on the 3-minute, we can see a nice order block here. The reason we don't choose this order block is because it's sort of in the middle of the push, and we like this one as it took the liquidity of the previous sellers. So let's mark out that order block. And before we set any limits on this order block, we need to see how price approaches it. So straight away we wait, and we can see price broke structure. But why didn't we enter from this order block, or this order block? It's because one, there's a trend line here, which we see as another confluence that price wants to continue up before it comes down. Secondly, there's 3 zones. We can't add 3 limits. So we're just going to wait for it to all get taken out. It gets taken out. We set our limits up here. I believe it tapped in around 7 o'clock. I can't remember where I was at the time, but it was quite late. And we're just going to target an imbalance down here, the imbalance level. Just below this wick, there's an imbalance. If I go on the 1 minute, it might be a bit more clearer. This imbalance level here, perfect. Let me just neaten everything up. Fantastic. So we can now just wait for price to tap in. This order block's not drawn up correctly. Beautiful. Great. So now we would just wait for price to tap in and eventually hit our take profit. Let's see how it goes. Taps us in nicely. Note straight away. And sorry, I marked the take profit wrong. I would have done it either just below here, just before this imbalance level here. If you see this wick, just below this imbalance. We're not going to target the demand because, price can always react from imbalances. Imbalances is always a safe place to take profit. As you can see, it's sniper entry, sniper exit. And we were out just before Asia. I believe price didn't go any lower until Asian session anyway. So, yeah. Well, that's the breakdown. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment, and I'm happy to reply. Thank you, ladies and gents.